everyone. I'm Meena Gandhi, Assistant Professor from Department of BCA Science, Abhidha Inamba Senior College. In this video, you will learn what do you mean by formatted input and output functions in a C. The topics covered in this video are what is program input and output means. Now, what do you mean by streams? Then types of input and output functions in a C. Then you will see what do you mean by formatted input-output functions. In that you will learn Printf and Scanf function. In Printf and Scanf function examples using C program and assignment on above topic. So first we will see what is program input and output in a C. When you execute any C program, compiler keeps data in a random access memory, the main memory. This data is in the form of variables, structures, arrays that have been declared by the programmer in the program. Data comes from some external location into the program and move into RAM, where the program can access it. It's called as input. The keyboard and disk files are the most common example of the program input. Data also can be sent to external location from the memory after executing the program. It's called as output. The most common destination for the output are the screen, printer and disk file, etc. Now what do you mean by streams in a C? In C programming, all input and output operations are done by means of streams. A stream is a sequence of characters, or you can say it is a sequence of bytes of data moving into program. Now what do you mean by there are two types of streams, input and output streams. Now a sequence of bytes flowing into program is known as input stream, and a sequence of bytes flowing out of program is called as output stream. You can see in this figure, input device, from input device data goes into input stream into program. After executing program, the output goes into output stream and then to output devices. So all input output operations done with the streams in a C language. Now major advantage of stream is that input output programming becomes device independent. Means programmer don't need to write the special input output functions for each device like keyboard, disk, mouse, etc. Now ANSI has defined three predefined streams, also called as standard input-output libraries. These streams are open when program starts and are closed when program terminates. These streams are stdin, stdout and stderror. Now stdin means standard input files, which is used to take input from the device like keyboard. Next, stdout means standard output, used to send the output to a device like monitor or screen. Next, standard stderror or standard error, used to display the error message on the screen. Now C language don't have inbuilt statements for input and output data. C language provides standard library predefined functions that deal with input stream and output stream. In C, all library functions are covered by the header file called as stdio.h file. For using IO functionality, the programmer must include this header file into their program. Now types of input and output functions. Now standard functions are divided into two parts, formatted function and unformatted function. Formatted function again divided in two parts, input function and output function. Scanf and printf functions are coming under the formatted function. Under the unformatted function, getch, getch, getchar, getS are the input functions, and putch, putchar and putS are the output functions. Next topic is formatted input and output functions. The formatted IO function refers to an input or output data that has been arranged in particular format, or we can arrange it according to our user's requirement or programmer's requirement. These types of IO function can help to display the output to the user in different format using format specifiers. These IO functions support all types of data like int, float, char, double, etc. There are mainly two formatted IO functions, scanf and printf. That's the first function, printf function, which is the output function. The printf function prints all types of data value to the standard output, that is screen or console. Printf function returns the number of characters it printed or output or negative value if an error occurs. Syntax for printf function is printf function. In double quotes you can give format string, after that comma, and you can print the argument 1, argument 2 or variable 1, variable 2 up to variable n. It returns int value, means it returns the number of characters printed or output on the screen. The format string has the following syntax of prototype: %, then optional are flags, width, dot precision, then length, and conversion or type specifier. Compulsory part is %, and type or conversion specifier. The type or conversion specifiers are: character for specifier is D or I, means you can use %D or %I for signed decimal integer having base 10. You can use %U for unsigned decimal integer having base 10. You can use %O for unsigned octal having base 8. You can use small x or capital X for unsigned hexadecimal integer. You can use small f or %f for decimal floating point number. You can use small e or capital E for scientific notation or exponential form of the floating point number. And you can use small g or capital G for shortest representation of the %E or %f. And you can use small a or capital A for hexadecimal decimal floating point number. You can use %C for character type data. And you can use %AS for string type of data. %P for pointer address. So let us see what do you mean by flags. Flags are optional. -sign shows that left justify within the given field, or by default all data is right justification. If you want to print data in left justified manner, then you can use the -sign before the conversion specifier. Then +sign forces to precede the result with plus or minus sign, even for the positive number. By default, only negative numbers are preceded with the minus sign. Space. If no sign is going to be returned, then a blank space is added before the value. Next is hash. Use with octal number or the decimal number specifiers. And if we add that hash before the O or X, the value will be preceded with the 0 or 0x respectively for different values other than 0. If we use hash with A, capital A, small a, E, capital E, or F or G, then it forces the output to contain a decimal point even if no more digits to follow. By default, if there are no digits after decimal point, the decimal point is written. Then 0. It left pads the number with the 0 instead of spaces when padding is specified. Next is width and precision. Width and precision are also optional part. Now in width you can specify in round bracket number. It represents the minimum number of characters to be printed. If the value to be printed is shorter than this number, the result will be padded with the blank spaces, and the value will be not truncated even if the number is larger or result is larger. Next is asterisk. Asterisk act as a placeholder if the width is not specified in the format string but as an additional integer value argument preceding the argument that has to be formatted. Now next is dot precision. You can specify dot number, dot 2, dot 3 like that. For integer specifiers like D, I, O, U, X, X, It specifies a minimum number of digits to be written. If the value to be written is shorter than this number, the result will be paired with the leading zeros. And if the value is larger, the result will be the value will be not truncated. A precision of 0 means that no character is to be written for the value 0. Now for the format specifier, for the type specifier like A, capital A, E, capital E, F, and capital F, this indicates the number of digits to be printed after a decimal point. By default, it is 6 digits. For G or capital G specifier, it tells the maximum number of significant digits to be printed. For S, it specifies the maximum number of characters to be printed. By default, all characters are printed until the null character is found. If the period is specified without an explicit value for the precision 0, then 0 is assumed. Now, dot asterisk indicates that the precision is not specified in the format string, but as an additional integer value argument preceding the argument that has to be formatted. Now length modifier or size modifier, you can say. H indicates the argument is to be interpreted as short int or unsigned short int, only applicable for the type specifiers I, D, O, U, X or capital X. Means decimal integer, octal integer and the decimal integer. Then small l is assumed as long int or unsigned long int and applicable only for decimal, octal and decimal integer constant. Then capital L is assumed as a long double only applicable for floating point constant or floating point specifiers E, capital E, F, G or capital G. The format string in double quotes in printf function also contains escape sequence. Now escape sequence always begin with backslash character. When the compiler interprets any character followed by an escape sequence, it treats as a backslash character. It is used to format the output text and represent the characters that cannot be used normally by using the keyboard. Each escape sequence has its own predefined function or meaning. Let us see all escape sequence. Now backslash n, meaning of it is a new line character. When you add backslash n in printf in format string in a printf function, it adds a new line in the output. In backslash t, horizontal tab, backslash p, backspace, backslash r, enter key or cache return, backslash a, alarm or audible bell, backslash single quotes, it prints the single quotes in the output, backslash double quotes, it prints the double quote in the output, backslash question mark, it prints the question mark in the output, backslash, it prints the backslash, backslash f means form field, backslash v means vertical tab, backslash 0 means null value. If you want to print the octal value, you can use backslash n. If you print the hexadecimal value, you can use backslash xh. Let us see example of printf function. Now as printf function is defined in a file stdio.h, so you must include the file stdio.h. Now in a main function, every C program contains a main function, so you must include main function. In main function, we are writing this printf statements. Now in printf statement, printf has syntax. In double quotes you write the format string or any text message. So here first we are written printf in double quotes characters. Then we have specified the format specifiers like %c for character data, %c for character data. And we include the escape sequence backslash n, which adds the new line at the end. So here we are printing a, small a and 65. 65 is the ASCII value of capital A, so it will print A. So first you see the output here characters, after that colon, here instead of colon here, so colon he printed here as it is. Then A, small a and capital A. So percent is a compulsory part. C is a what? Conversion or type specifier. In next printf, if we want to print integer number and long integer constant, then we can use %d and %ld as a format specifier. So printf decimals %d %ld, and we add the \n as a what? Escape sequence for new line character. You can see in the output 1977 as an integer value and 65,000 is assumed as a long integer number. In next printf statement, we have added the width 10. Means minimum 10 numbers can be printed like that. Now here number is 1977, which is shorter than the width 10. So it will add blanks in front of this number 1977. Now next is %010d. Here we have specified the flag 0 and then width as a what? 10. So minimum we want to print 10 number of characters or integers. Here you can see in the output number is 1977, which is shorter than 10. So leading spaces is added with the what? 0. We have specified here 0, means blanks will be replaced by 0. In next printf statements, we have given %d, %x, %o to print the decimal number, hexadecimal number. To print the octal number, we use these specifiers: %d for decimal integer, %x for hexadecimal integer, %o for octal integer number. Now here we have specified %#x, which we want to display that number as a hexadecimal number. Start with 0x. Octal numbers start with 0. So we want to display in the output start with 0. So we are given in %#o and then escape sequence \n and number is 100. So first format is %d, means integer, plain decimal integer. So number is 100 here. Octal number is 64. Sorry, decimal number is 64. Octal number is 144. And we want to display in the hexadecimal format, so we added hash flag there. So %#x will print the hexadecimal number starting with 0x. Then for printing starting with octal number 0, we have inserted a hash in front of the type specifier O. Next we want to print floating point numbers. So we have given here %, width is 4. And we are given precision 0.2, means after decimal point we want to print only 2 decimal places. F for format, F for floating point number. So here you can see in output number is 3.146. So in output 3.14. After decimal point only 2 places are there. Then we have added % sign, and after precision point 0 is added, means no character will be displayed, no decimal digit will be displayed after the decimal point. So here +3 and E for exponential format, small e. So here small e is displayed here. Next is %e. So 3.14600, means after decimal point it by default it prints a 6 places. And E for capital E specified, so capital E is here. Next is %*d, and then we specified here what 5 and 10. Now here asterisk is placed instead of as a placeholder for the instead of width here. So we are telling that 10 number has to be minimum width should be what 5. So here in this you can see 10, and 10 is added with what 3 blank spaces here. Next is %s \n. %s is used for printing the strings, and your string is a string, so it will display in the output a string. This is more examples. Printf %5d10. It tells that at least 5 wide, 5 digit wide. So here in the result you can see that 10. Here is 10 is right justified. So blanks are added in front of the 10. Next, minus percent minus 5d means what we are telling that left justification. Minus sign takes left justification. So 10 is left justified and remaining blanks is added in the after the 10. Next, at least 5 wide but 0 fill means we are telling that instead of adding blank in front of 10, add the 0, pad with the 0. So here you can see the output, blanks are replaced by zeros. And at least 5 wide with plus sign. So percent plus sign plus flag, and 5 width is 5 width and T for integer number. So we are telling that add the number with plus sign as well as width is 5. So add blank space in front of the what 10. Now here percent minus sign takes left justified, plus sign takes add the plus sign in the result, and 5 is a width. So here you can see the result plus 10. After that blanks are added. Now for printing string you can use printf %s sign, %s specifier. So %s for printing the string. So hello will be printed here. By default it's right justified. Now a string with minimum length. We are telling that minimum length is what of a string is 10. If the string is too short than the specified width, then the blanks will be added in front of the string. Then percent minus 10s means left justified, width is 10 and it tells the left justification. So hello will be printed and after that spaces will be added. Let us see one more printf example to print the floating point numbers. Now first, if you want to print one position after a decimal point, so you can give the %.1f, precision 0.1f, means it will display only one digit after a decimal point. Now here number is 10.3456. So in the output only it will display one digit after a decimal point, that is 10.3. If you want to display only two positions after a decimal point, then you can give %.2f. Now here number is 10.3456, but we want only display two decimal places. So after 4 it is 5 or more, more than 5, then it is rounded to the 4 will be rounded to 5. So 10.35 will be displayed. Now if you want to print 8 width and two positions after a decimal point, then you can give %8.2f, which width specified 8 bit longer or 8 digit wide like that, and after decimal point we want to display only two places. So 0.2f or 10.3456 will be printed as 10.35 because 4 is rounded to the 5, and before 10 it adds the blank spaces because 10.34 is shorter than the width 8, so it adds blank spaces in front of 10. 8 bit wide or 8 digit wide or 4 positions after decimal point, so you can give %8.4f. So you can see here after decimal point there are 4 places are printed here. Then 8 wide, 2 positions after the decimal but 0 filled, means 8 wide and after decimal point 2 places, so 10.35. Now leading blanks are replaced by 0 because we have specified 0 as a flag here, so 0 instead of blanks 0 will be padded. 8 wide, 2 positions after the decimal point and left justified. Now till now we have seen the result right justified. Now here we have specified left justified, so indicate the minus flag. So % minus 8.2f. So flag first, then width, then dot, and then precision 2. Means after decimal point print only two decimal places. So 10.35, but it is left justified. So blanks are added after 35. Now printing larger number than was specified in the given format. So here percent minus 8.2f, and then number is larger here than the width. So it will not truncated here. So it will print the number as it is, and after decimal point only 2 places, so it will print 35. This is the example of escape sequence. Here first we want to insert tab in a string. So printf hello \t for horizontal tab. So \t and after that word. So it will add spaces in the hello and word. Normally one tab means 8 or 4 spaces. If you want to add new line, then you can add \n. So printf in double quotes hello \n and word. After hello it will give what new line. So in the output you can see word is printed on the new line. If you want to add a new line at the end of the string, so you can add \n at the end. If you want to print backslash in the output string, then you have to add input of backslash. Means if you want to print like C:/Windows/1632, in that case, input of this backslash you have to add the word backslash character in the format string. So C:/\. Now next input function, Scanf function. This function reads the formatted input from the standard input like keyboard. It is used to read the input until it encounters any white space character or new line or end of file. A syntax: scanf in round bracket in double quotes format string, and then you pass the address of the argument 1, argument 2, argument 3. It tells that where to store data in a memory. And argument 1 or variable 1, it tells that in memory where we want to store the data. After reading the data, where you want to store, we are giving we are passing it address to the scanf function. It returns number of value read and assigned to the variable. The format string can contain any white space character, non-white space character, and format specifier. The format specifier has the following format: a prototype, %sign compulsory part, and type or convention specifiers compulsory part. Asterisk, width, and modifiers are optional part. Now in a format string, after the %sign, there is a first optional character as asterisk. It indicates that data is to be read from the keyboard or string, but it is to be ignored. It is not stored in the corresponding variable or argument. Next is width. It specifies the maximum number of characters to be read in the current reading operation. Next is modifiers, like H modifier for short int or unsigned short int. L for long int, use applicable for D, I, and N specifiers, or unsigned long int applicable for O, U, or X type specifiers, or for double E, F, and G. Then if you want to display long double, you can use modifier as a capital L for E, F, and G type specifiers. After that, you can compulsory part is type specifier or conversion specifier, which specify what type of data to be read from the keyboard. Now type specifiers are C for character data. If you want to read single character, you can use %C. If you want to read decimal integer number with plus or minus sign, you can use %D. For floating point number, you can use small f, capital E, small e, G, or capital G. Any one you can use for that. Normally %f is used. For octal integer number, you can use %O. Or string of characters, you can use %S. But it will read the string until it found the white space character. If it finds space or any tab or any new line, it will stop the reading of characters. and %u for decimal integer, x, small x or uppercase x for the decimal integer. Then in square bracket, if you specify characters, then it will read only any number of characters that's specified in the bracket. And if you are given caret sign and character in the square bracket, then any number of characters, none of them specified as characters between the brackets, means it will read the characters other than specified in the bracket. In percent sign, a percent followed by another percent will match the single percent sign. Let us see simple program to accept two numbers and display that two numbers using Scanf and Printf. Now first include #stdio.h as it contains two functions, Printf and Scanf. Now every C program contains main function, so add main function. Now main function by default returns integer value, so you add here int and add the statement return 0 in the every C program. Now you want to accept two numbers, so to declare variables a and b of type int. Now print the message, enter the numbers a and b by using the printf statement. In double quotes you add escape sequence \n, so it will start on new line, enter numbers a and b. When we want to read numbers, so use the scanf function, scanf. We want to add integer numbers, so use %d or %i. So I have used here %d or %d, %a and %b. In scanf function, we are passing the address of variables or argument to scanf function. It tells compiler that store that number at specified address. %a means store that number in a variable in specified memory location. And print that numbers a and b. So printf a equal to %d and b equal to %d. After that, a comma b means this first %d will be replaced by value of a and second %d will be replaced by value of b. So you must give a % equal to number of arguments you want to print it. Let us see another program to find area of circle and circumference using printf and scanf. Now first include the header file stdio.h. In the main function, declare a constant pi having value 3.14. To declare a constant, we use the keyword const followed by type, it's float, and constant name pi. We have to initialize the constant while declaration only. So 3.14 is initialized value. Now every statement in the C program is ended with semicolon. So every statement has semicolon as a terminator. Now then we want to radius to find the area of circle and circumference. So declare three variables, radius, area and circumference of type float. We initialize area with 0.0 and circumference with 0.0. Then using printf statement, print the message in the radius. After that, you read that radius using floating point specifier %f and pass the address of the variable radius. Now to find area, pi into radius, pi r square. So pi into radius. Then to find circumference, we use the formula 2 pi r. So 2 into pi into radius. For multiplication, we use the asterisk operator. Now for printf, area and circumference. So printf, then on new line we want to print, so \n. I want to print only 2 decimal places after the decimal point. So %.2f. So give the precision 0.2f. Same thing for circumference and print the variables area and circumference. So this %2f will be replaced by value of area and this %2f will be replaced by value of circumference. Now I have run the program here, enter radius equal to 3.2, it will display area and circumference. Let us see another example to accept a string and display a string. So in a main function, we are defining a character array str having length 30. So printf enter a string. Then we use the scanf %s str. Here I have not used address sign here or ampersand sign here because array name itself provides the address of the variable. So there is no need to give ampersand sign for %s specifier for string type. In printf, type string equal to %s and print the str. Now you can see I have run this program and you can see in this output I have entered a string Veena Gandhi, Veena space Gandhi. Now scanf will stop the reading the string when it encounters the first space or any tab or any white space \n, etc. So you can see in output type in a variable str only Veena is stored and Gandhi is not stored because after white space character it stops scanf function stops the reading. Let us modify the string program. In scanf function, after %sign, I have added some characters in square brackets, A, B, C, D, E. Means it tells the, it reads the input only from these characters. You can see in this in the output, I have entered the string ABEX. So ABE are in the character set, but X is not in the character set in scanf function. So it will ignore that X. Only it will read the character which are specified in the character set in a scanf function. Let's modify this string program. In scanf function, I have added after %sign asterisk. This asterisk tells the compiler that read the first string, but ignore it. Don't store in a variable. So you can see in the output or result, I have entered a string Veena space Gandhi. So Veena is skip and Gandhi is stored in str1. I hope that you have understood scanf and printf functions. Assignment. Short questions. What is a string? What are types of string? List the streams supported by ANSI C. What are the formatted input output function? Long questions. Explain the printf function with example. Explain the scanf function with example. I hope you will like this video. Thank you for watching.